Hey all, sorry about the hurt. It's a fucking mess. It will be for a while. Growing it out, you know this, but I'm fucking insecure about it right now, so I feel as if I have to mention every single fucking time. Let's go. So I am hitting a weird fucking point right now where I'm just kinda done with social media. And by done, I don't mean I'm never using it ever again, because I'm probably addicted to it. By done, I mean I'm fucking sick of it, right? It's like I'm sick of the right wing that want us to go back to the fucking medieval period. I'm sick of the left wing that want to fast forward us into the dystopian future. I'm sick of fucking men's circles that at this point are just this weird mix of conservatives, mostly tradcons, um, Muslims, Christians, nofap, and extreme fitness guys that believe that building muscle will solve all of your problems. Doesn't matter what that is. If you turn yourself into Hercules, all of your problems will go away. Um, it's a weird fucking mix that has just completely lost to the point of like just men's rights doesn't even enter it. In fact, half the shit these people preach goes completely against men's rights, and it's just the same fucking gynocentric bullshit that I've argued against anyway. So, it's yeah, and then pretty much everything has a funnel of these different fucking groups mixing in together and shoving their own opinions in it. It doesn't matter what it is. There is no fucking escape from it these days if you're online, right? And talking with people in real life has made me realize that actually people in real life tend to be far more balanced, or at least not as honest as they are online. But yeah, there's like one guy I've met on my walks who rubs me the wrong way. Not to the point where I really dislike the dude, but to the point where I just think he's kind of a self-important ass. Like, he's, yeah, like, he's one of these guys where you know he spends a lot of time on Twitter. You know what I mean? He's one of them. Or Reddit even. I don't think he's Reddit bad, but he's definitely Twitter bad. But it's like he's okay. You can get on with him, but when politics comes up, he is kind of smarmy. Whereas everyone else I'm pretty balanced with, but he just rubs me the wrong way. But yeah, like these real life walks have done a lot of good for me because I'm speaking to people who from like different groups and whatnot, and people are cool, people are fine. You know, I was enjoying a fucking stream the other day from someone I've never watched before, and she's fine. She's happy, bubbly, friendly, all that kind of thing. And then she had to throw in the fucking like somebody said something to her that wasn't positive. So she banned them, and then apparently she looked on their profile and found out that they were playing the fucking turf game. And at that point I'm like, okay, this is the kind of person I'm dealing with. And I instantly went off her. Like, I'm gonna still watch her every now and again, like, just to see if most of the time she's okay. Like, I don't have to agree with everyone on everything in order to kind of, there's plenty of people I watch who don't, who I disagree with. There's even a few people I've watched, or at least used to watch, which isn't helping my point. Like, the only people I can think about like this right now off the top of my head, like H-Bomber Guy and Jim Sterling, I no longer follow because they have annoyed me too much. But the example I'm going to give is basically people who I watch their content because they make good content, but I know will probably fucking hate my guts if they ever met me in real life and would just assume the worst of me. And I no longer follow both of those because I feel like they've gone completely off the fucking rails. I don't know about H-Bomber Guy, I've not watched this shit in ages, but Jim Sterling is just batshit at this point. But no, it's like people have just got it. People, it's too much bullshit all the fucking time, and people are so fucking sure of themselves, and they do not like it whenever you play devil's advocate, or you try to get them to look at it in a different angle, or you add some level of nuance beyond the tribal black and white way they're looking at it. Yes, I know I come across as the enlightened centrist most of the time. I am getting to the point where it's like, I'm not liberal anymore, am I? I'm not liberal. My idea of liberal is dead. That liberal doesn't exist anymore. It died out in like the early 2000s. It's gone. I'm probably a centrist at this point. Like, I'm also not in fucking focus. But it's like, I'm so just done with dealing with just... It's like, when you're dealing with the right wing, they're actually really annoying. The right wing gets to me than the left does most of the time, because the right wing are just better at insults. They're better at tearing people down. The right wing just they're just, how can I put it? The right wing, high school. The right wing are the jocks, right? The right wing are the jocks. The left wing are the mean girls. They're both toxic pieces of shit that need a good dose of reality smacked in their face on a regular basis, but they approach their toxicity in different ways. That's the best way of putting it. The left are mean girls, the right are jocks. They're all assholes. They're all fucking dumb, just fucking shallow, vapid beyond belief, but they approach their bullshit in different ways. And the jock way just gets to be more, but the mean girl way is just overall more successful in the grand scheme of things. That's kind of the way I look at it. They're more successful at getting their way. That's one way to look at it. But yeah, so I'm thinking of kind of cutting back on social media a little bit, because it's just not doing anything for me. I tried to delve into some fun things, like I started following more animal-based channels, like I'm following things on like owls and corvids, and you know, I'm diving into furry stuff. I'm posting more furry art. I'm avoiding a lot of the politics. I'm still posting that kind of stuff, but I'm avoiding I'm avoiding a lot more of it. And for a while it worked, but I've noticed I'm starting to slip again, and it's just kind of like, it doesn't matter what I do with the algorithms, I'm still going to end up going back down there and encountering these people. And even on like animal groups, like the one thing I always laugh at when it comes, like, if there's an animal video posted on the internet, doesn't matter what it is at all, there will always, without question, be someone in the comments screaming animal abuse, fucking, you know, general poor treatment or poor ownership or something like that. And often they'll do it with such confidence and righteous indignation and not have a fucking idea what the fuck they're talking about. They'll get the animal they're looking at completely the wrong way. They'll misunderstand the context and believe someone has just like snatched a wild animal from the streets and kept it in their home, when in reality they're a sanctuary and they're healing it up, and because they're a sanctuary, these animals interact with different other animals like their pets and things like that. But it's just like, this shit is everywhere. And I'm not saying this as if I'm above it, because I'm not. I'm on this internet as well. I'm, as I'm sure you've all seen, perfectly, you know, sucked in, and I'm blurry all the fucking time. I'm sucked in. I'm trying to get it to focus. I'm sucked in by like this random rage and all this other stuff. But I've started to notice recently, watching a lot of this stuff and being like, I don't fucking care anymore. I just don't care. And then occasionally I'll see something else that I really do care about, and I'll comment on that. And every single time, even if I'm as nice as possible, it doesn't matter. It's like, fuck, I made a joke the other day, a chicken-related joke, and some semantic bint in the fucking comments was like, well, actually, that's a chicken. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm making a joke. It's a stupid dad pun. Anyone can understand that. But no, you have to be a smarmy bitch about it. You have to be a fucking semantic, like, shooting bitch over the whole fucking thing. Like, Well, actually, it's not really. Chicken can be both cockerel and hen. Okay. I know. Good job. But the chicken in the art, it's a male chicken. Which is where I got the joke from. Okay. I'm sorry. I was just trying to be funny. I understand that you don't understand humor. It's fine. Okay. You know, and it's just like I'm fucking done, dude. I'm fucking done. So I'm gonna aim to use less of it. I think just do something else. I've been watching more Twitch recently. I've been watching more, live stream stuff. Maybe just do that instead. Maybe watch a few shows. Do something other, like, to keep my attention. Other than that, I don't know. Find something else to keep my attention when I'm where I would otherwise spend my time doing that, because it's just even the fun stuff just gets soured by the bollocks, and I'm so done with it at this point. It's just constant. It's this constant stream of people trying to one-up everyone around them to be the most important person in the room. You know, and again, people do it in different ways. Morally, ability, maturity, masculinity, whatever. Like, people are trying to one-up each other all the fucking time. It's a constant, and it's fucking pathetic. I think that's like the core of a lot of this. Everyone's trying to compete to be the most like the just the best overall, the best, the most right, the most capable, the most whatever. Like, everyone's competing to be just the best all the time. And I know this happens in real life as well, but there's something about the internet that just, like, heightens it. And it's fucking sad. And it's fucking annoying. And I'm kind of done. I'm kind of fucking done with it, man. It's so I'm off tempted to just go on Facebook and type in N-word, 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 FG word, well, FAG word, N-word, and just get banned. Hopefully that'll enough to just get, like, fucking kick me off, so like, even if I wanted to interact, I couldn't. I suppose I could just delete my account, but I still, there are people on there that I know and I interact with that I don't really interact with anywhere else. And it's kind of the reason why I still have Facebook. If I didn't have the people I know on Facebook, I would have stopped using it ages ago. It's the same reason why I have, like, bouts with Twitter, where I'll go on Twitter and I'll have a bit of fun with it, and then I'll stop using it for months, and then I'll do the same thing every now and again, just to, you know, as a bit of a palate cleanser from Facebook. I'm on Facebook because I know a lot of people on there that I interact with, and I like them, and that's kind of it. That's the main reason. But if I didn't have that, I would have stopped using that website ages ago. But, yeah, I'm just fed up with the whole fucking thing. I'm just frustrated with the whole fucking thing. It's just dumb. And I tell you what I'm fucking frustrated with as well. Why won't you focus the entire time you refuse to focus? Is it just my glasses? I think, you know what, I think it actually might be my glasses. They're I don't know what's happened to them. I was out in the rain at some point today. Maybe that's what it is. I think it is my glasses more than anything. Fuck me. But nah. I'm repeating myself at this point, so I'll probably end the video here. But it's just it's constant, and it's all the fucking time. I basically said the same thing twice there, just using different words. And I'm done with everyone. I don't really have a circle anymore. I think that's what it is. Like, I have one private, like, men's group that is just not active, and the reason why it's not active is because people in that group are hand selected, not by me, but they're hand selected, and they're pretty fucking chill. A lot of people are on the same kind of level. Not exactly, we have differences in opinions, but we're in terms of like the overall vibe we want from the group, we're all kind of on the same level, but it's not very active. Probably for the same fucking reason, you know what I mean? There's not... Very few of us seem to be the type to kind of like go out there and share stuff, and you need those kind of people to bring forward the things for other people to interact with and have back and forths over. You know, I've disagreed with people in the group and so on and so forth, but generally speaking, the general vibe in the group is far more chill. But you go on like any other men's rights group, or just men's group in general, and honestly, in recent years, they've become indistinguishable from like the pickup artist bullshit and whatnot. Like, Andrew Tate worship is still alive and well. For some bizarre fucking reason. There's so much Muslim and Christian value stuff in there that just doesn't compute with me. There's so much fucking fitness worship. Now, like, fitness is good. I can tell you from personal experience. Fitness is very, very, very good. I recommend it. But these people are, quite frankly, the male equivalent of the women who get obsessed with Instagram. Or whatever came before that, like the magazines and things, where they're constantly comparing themselves to other women and checking on their butt size and their boob size and their hip weight ratio and all this kind of thing. These dudes are the same. They'll act like they're above it. They'll talk about women as if they're above them, but they're not. They're falling for the exact same bullshit. They believe that they're not a real man unless they look like a roided up fucking monster. And they push this and 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 push this. And after people are pushing this, have a grift on the side, they're making money from it. You know, like, don't get me wrong, like, fitness is good. Fitness is good. It is something that everyone should engage in. Believe me, I know from personal experience just how much an improved body makes an improved mind. Like, holy fucking shit, you have no idea unless you've been on one of the extremes and moved over to the other, right? You have no idea unless you've done that. But it's much like, you know, the nutrition stuff, like health stuff. Health stuff in general is full of a lot of good information and a lot of trash, mainly because people have something they want to sell. And it's the same thing here. These guys are obsessed over this kind of thing, and they act as if doing this is the cure for fucking everything. And that's what these circles are like now. And it's like, I used to go for these places to, like, as a refuge. It's like, okay, here's what really matters. Not the left, not the right. Okay, these places contain more right-wing people than left-wing people by a considerable margin, but still, overall, we're talking about the core issues. We're not anymore. That whole community has just merged in with, like, the pickup artist stuff and the bruh stuff. It's just all become fucking one now, and it's just not the fucking same. There's a few old guard kind of like honey badger types that I know, and they're fucking beautiful, but most of that's just gone now. It's just another variant of the same tribalistic, black and white thinking, just hive mind that everything else is suffering with now. One of the arguments I got into people was about porn. These guys are blaming porn for the downfall of society, right? Now, porn addiction is a real thing, especially when it's so accessible on the internet. But in my opinion, something that has been both a giant blessing and a giant curse is the fucking internet. This thing and the algorithms and how it works has caused far more issues than porn ever has. We interact with within these algorithms so much that we get funneled into one kind of way of thinking, more so than we would do in real life, because in real life we would be forced to interact with one another to a certain degree. With that, we're just not online. There's so much propaganda from all sides of every argument in this place, and it's fucking everywhere. Some of it I've fallen for myself, man. You know, some of it I've fallen for myself. There's so much of it fucking out there, and it's just, you can't trust the mainstream media because they lie all the time, but you can't trust the alternative media either for the same fucking reason. It's just, it has less power behind it, you know. And as companies are buying off various parts of the internet. It's not like it used to be. On top of that, AI is this big talking point now, and you know, deep fakes and faking fucking voices, and it's all fun now. It's all like a great fucking tool for memes. It's fucking beautiful for that. But this is the tech the public has now. So what tech does the private sector have? How long is it going to be before we're seeing fake, like completely AI manufactured propaganda? I don't imagine it's too long. In fact, we may even be seeing it now. I don't know. I don't really interact with the news as much as I used to. You know, there's like, that's the next big thing, and we're just moving one step closer every fucking day towards this like sci-fi dystopian nightmare. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel lost. There's no refuge. There's no place for me to be like, oh, okay, these are my people. I don't have a tribe. Maybe I have often talked about Beware the Preacher. Maybe the reason I preach against tribes all the time is because I'm kind of jealous that I don't have my own. I've never found a real tribe for myself. The closest I have come to is the INFJ stuff. But I find a lot of INFJ's sort of memeage and general online culture to be, we're so special, trauma. It's like they're wearing real heavy shit as an identity. It's like, I'm autistic, but I'm never gonna go autism. You know, there's an element of that where it's like, no, I've lived with autism. I know how it's benefited me, and I know how it's fucked me over. And it's not something it's like I'm white. You know, I'm white, I'm male, I'm autistic, I've got brown hair, blue eyes. All of these are facts. None of these are, hey, I'm these things. Oh, it's so good. You know what I mean? And there's an element of the INFJ online culture of that. And it's like, no, this is useful because it helps us understand how our brain works. It helps us understand our strengths and our weaknesses. But there's a certain element to the online culture that's just like, look at us, we're so enlightened and special, and we understand things far better than most other people. They're such normies. There's a lot of that, and it doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with me. So the closest is probably the INFJ culture online, but even then, it's a bit too up its own arse, quite frankly, for me to kind of sit there. So I'm like, I'm a wanderer. I search around, ooh, everywhere I go. It's just another tribe. I eventually fuck up, and then I have to run and hide. And every time I think, these people are the best, eventually something pops up, and they're just like all the rest. Oh, I'm a wanderer. I'm a wanderer. I search around, and eventually maybe I'll find a group, but probably not. Maybe that's why I preach about, that's one of the best things I've ever done. Maybe that's one of the reasons I preach about fucking tribes, because I don't have one. I've never had the comfort of a tribe, because I've never had one. You know, like, I love my family. I've been fortunate to have the family I have, but I cannot tell you the amount of times I've sat in the room with my family and thought, I'm not like these people. There's got to be something wrong with me or what, but I'm not like these people. I don't have their values. Or at least on the same level as they do, and it's just like, I'm not. I care about them, and I know they care about me, but there's not that real connection there, you know? There's the odd exception to that, but it's just like, I've felt that a lot. So I've never had that tribe. So maybe that's why I preach against it so much, because I've never had that tribe, I see the destruction it causes and the way it fucks with people's head constantly from the outside looking in. You know? So maybe that's what it is. Like, as I've said a few times, beware the preacher. If somebody preaches about the same shit all the fucking time, there's probably something in here. There's probably something like there's an insecurity there. That there it's coming from, right? And usually it's because they're guilty of the same thing. So perhaps if I was part of a tribe, if I had been part of a tribe, maybe I'd be this much of an insufferable prick in these ways. I know I'm already an insufferable prick, but I mean in like the same ways as this. But no, and I'm kind of done. I'm enjoying my streams that I'm doing every Wednesday. I'm enjoying that. You know, I'm getting on with life. But I just like the spaces in which I'm kind of doing fuck all and waiting for something. Do you know what? I've got a massive fucking to read list. I've got a giant fucking to read list. Maybe I should just carry a book around with me and just do that instead. That being, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna attempt to use less of social media, because it's not really doing much for me anymore outside of the few individuals I know who I really like. It's just not. It's like being stuck in a cage full of rabid apes. They're all fucking beating at each other and screaming, and you're like, hey, this is all a misunderstanding. Look, the only reason you're doing this is because this guy thought this happened. Like, you know what I mean? I'm making myself out to seem like the most enlightened, reasonable centrist to ever exist. But no, I'm not. I'm just as fucked as everyone else. I don't know. Anyway, this has gone on longer than I intended, as is typically the case for me. So I'm just gonna fucking upload it. I'm not gonna edit it or anything. I'm just gonna fucking upload it. It'll be my vloggy video for today, and I'm going to fucking go to bed, I think. Yeah.